Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy final day of the year, guys. New Year's Eve, that's the one. Hope you guys are all well. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our last update of 2021 before we move into 2022. Hopefully 2022 will be a good year. Two's are my lucky number, so hopefully 2022 will be a good year for all of us. So yeah, that all being said, we shall go straight over to these Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4-hour, as you can see, we are having a nice little end of year pump here. Obviously a bit of chart manipulation for the end of year charts. Obviously end of month, end of quarter, end of biannual, end of everything charts, because obviously it's the end of the year. Let's just extend this horizontal along. As you can see, that horizontal around, well, we'll call it 48,500 just to round it up. Probably is an important level for us to close above. If we do that, then clearly we've got a chance of this being the low and us moving back on at least towards 50,000, and then assuming we can break above 50,000, we then will potentially be looking good for another attempt at breaking out of this range. But to the upside, obviously this candle is still very, very young. It is a 4-hour candle that we have 2 hours and 44 minutes left. So we could get a rejection, and this could end up being a very nasty wick and a very nasty looking candle, or we could get continuation, maybe even another $1,000 on this candle, and it would start to look like a pretty incredible 4-hour candle. Then potentially look for a back test towards 48.5. And then potentially the forward check, the back check, and the pay check. We shall have to see how this pans out. But so far, clearly looking better than we were before. But yeah, like I said, we need this candle to make progress and close above at least where we are now, and not end up with a pretty nasty looking wick. The Ethereum Satoshi pairing, obviously not quite keeping up with this Bitcoin move, which we would expect, but on the larger time frame, looking pretty much like a bull flag of sorts. As long as realistically we hold this area here, then we can still expect further upside. Lose this level, and then obviously probably game over, but I don't see that happening. The USD pairing obviously not looking quite as good, back basically in this channel, in the sideways range that we were in before, but can we make our way back above 4,000 and be looking good? And the answer to that is yes, assuming Bitcoin does make its way back towards 52,000. Let's have a look at stocks. Basically did break below that horizontal, but as you can see, trying to make their way back up. But this is a pretty aggressive move. We can realistically expect a pullback even as deep as back to the roughly the breakout area, and it still be very bullish. So be aware of that, but we could just continue onwards and upwards in true crack up boom style. US oil hanging around these highs. DXY easing off a little bit again. Is it going to take out this horizontal, and are we going to make our way lower? We shall have to see. And the 10-year easing off into that area. But yeah, if the 10-year just bounce here, the DXY does lose below here, we could be basically back into a pretty aggressive risk on trade, which stock markets are already front running, and if that is the case, I mean realistically expect over the next month or so Bitcoin to be easily be back above $60,000 if that is how this is to play out. What else do we look at? This stochastics, it was the 10-hour and 12-hour we wanted to get going, and then obviously we've got those 5-day and weekly that we need to get going as well. So yeah, 4-hour did do its job basically and held us above that 46 and a bit thousand we were looking at yesterday, so that is good to see. Still got room to run. 10-hour turning up from a very low level, room to run. 12-hour just about turning up here from a very low level with plenty of room to run. Daily is still coming down. buy daily and 3 daily, still making that ever so slight grind to the upside from that very low level. Also 5-day, yeah, 5-day still coming down, weekly coming down. These will be the ones once these turn back up, which I suspect will be when basically Bitcoin gets towards his $50,000 level, or holds above here for another few more days. Then yeah, I think that could be the signal, get us back to the top. Maybe we get a pullback to 50,000, and then maybe we blast on through. Obviously you can probably tell my bullish bias here. There would have been a certain amount of selling into the end of the year for tax purposes and bonus paycheck purposes, and you would then expect, one, that selling to have stopped now, and two, potential rebuying to come back in. So we are going to be in next year tomorrow. Obviously, I think it is the weekend. It is Friday. I lose track of the days at this time of year. It is Friday today, so obviously there won't be traditional markets open over the weekend. Obviously, crypto will. Retail will be at liberty to front run any potential reapplying of positions from in inverted commas professionals. But yeah, we shall have to see how it goes. Obviously there was also a big options expiry today. Obviously, with it being end of year, can get a bit of positioning regarding that also. But the main thing is we get and hold above in the short term, get and hold above 48,500, and then make our way towards 50,000. Break above this 50,000, then yeah, I mean, we can test the top of the range, and then potentially break through it this time after a swift rejection from the bears of our previous attempt. So that is it, guys. I hope you guys all have great plans for this evening. I'm not currently planning on doing much. Yeah, I mean, obviously with the current state of things, it is not that exciting at the moment. But if you guys are up to anything exciting, that is good. And remember to stay safe, and if not, buy a pram. So there you go, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys next year.